Hi everyone and welcome back to another, well, studio vlog. So today, actually this week, I wanted to do something a bit different because it's now Sunday and I haven't actually last week really filmed very much. I filmed a little bit, but I really got stuck into making some new prints and I made quite a lot. So basically there was not anything to film apart from me on the iPad, which would have been fairly boring. So instead this week I thought I would share a little bit with you, like behind the scenes, about the design process and some of the ideas I've had and where I've kind of got them from and what I do to design my prints. So I hope you like it. So if you've seen some of my new prints, you'll see that they are in a slightly different style. Well, in a way a slightly different style, but I've kind of gone back to my roots a little bit. I know these are all going to be backwards, I'm just going to say this now, but I really need to see what I'm filming, so sorry. So you can see that they are not in, I guess, my hand lettering style, but this is a font that I've actually used for quite a long time, and it's one that I wanted to go back to because, as you can see just in this one here, so of course I absolutely love, I mean this is one of my favourite prints. I love this quote so much, and we can also personalise it as well. You know, I love this and it's all done in my hand lettering style, but the text is really thin, and doing my prints as a way to get my artwork out there in a slightly different way. So all of my prints involve some kind of like painting in the background. It's how we kind of create like the unique like text style. It's why it's not all like one colour and monochrome, and when you look sort of in detail at your prints, you'll almost see like little flecks and brush marks, which I think is just like, it's a bit different to what else is out there, and it's, you know, I mean I think it looks cool. I hope you guys do too. And I really wanted to kind of get that across more, and I was looking at some of my older prints that were done in this same font, and I thought, oh, you know, you look at that and you can really see all the detail and the artwork that sits behind it. And so that's kind of why I wanted to do some prints like in this font style. So just to kind of show you what I mean, and apologies, I'm like, yes, this is the carpet. But when you look, this is quite an old print actually, I think I designed it a couple of years ago, but you can see really detailed in the lettering all of the artwork that's underneath, all of the different colours and the paint strokes, and I just really love that effect. And here I just really love how how you can see as well. I mean, it's not, the lighting isn't particularly picking it up, but you can see it's got loads of detail in it. That was like one of the reasons. It was me kind of almost going back to a bit of like my design roots from when I first started. The challenge with doing these though was that I also wanted to create new artwork because I wanted to explore some new colours, and obviously I do a lot in pink and I love pink, and there is a pink one, but I also wanted to see if we could just explore some other colours, and for the first time ever I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit of green. So I really wanted to explore some new colours and create some new artwork. Now, with it being lockdown and not being at home, I don't have any of my paints with me. So it was a bit of a challenge because I had to try and create something like some digital art, which I actually don't normally do. I normally always paint, you know, traditionally, like to create a traditional abstract painting, and then maybe do a little bit of like digital editing, like add a couple of extra colours in, like particular paint colours that I don't have, but creating things which were completely digital. And it was a bit of a, it was a fun challenge actually. I still prefer, you know, getting in there and getting stuck in with the paint and the kind of like the sort of the freedom aspect that gives you, you know, that you can kind of get completely out of the digital world, I suppose, and just go back to paint and paper, which is something that I really enjoy doing. It's something that I've really missed, not having my paint supplies. I'd normally just have an afternoon of just painting, not to create anything to sell, which actually is a really important part of my process, is just like having having fun. I'm having fun and painting and seeing kind of what I come up with, and kind of getting stuck in with all the paints. So I have like missed that part of it, but it was just something that I really had to work around with these, was to just do it in a bit of a different way. And I'm really pleased with the finish because we've still managed to capture a lot of detail in the prints, and you know, in all of the colours and the artwork that we put in the background, you know, capturing the lovely lines and brush strokes which you would naturally see in one of my abstract paintings. I paint with a lot of big hefty like bristly brushes to create like lines, and I also use a lot of sponges, which kind of gives a lot like a real mottled effect. Also I quite often get in there with my fingers as well, so it always gets very messy. So in terms of the colours that have been used in all of the prints, as I said, I really wanted to try something a little bit different, and I've been really inspired in the past year by crystals, and they inspired that whole collection of notebooks that I released last year in the crystals collection, and all the colours and the structures when you look inside crystals, and I love all of that, and that's something that I try to kind of capture in my paintings, and I want to again sort of explore those colours a little bit more and that style a little bit more in these prints. But I also wanted a series that could match in really nicely together, so having, you know, the different words and letters together in the different colours, but that would complement each other, and that were really light, and yeah, so I sort of picked a palette of colours from the purple, pink, and that sort of, I called it peach, but you know, sometimes sort of look at it and sort of like, I don't really know what kind of colour it is. Maybe comment below, like what would you call this kind of that background colour, in the one that I've called peach and purple. I really wanted to call it like after a crystal as well, but there wasn't really one that sort of made sense in the same way that like emerald, you know, you're talking about green. So yeah, like let me know what you think that colour would be. But that was, I really wanted to create a series that would like match in together really nicely as well. And then I think when it came to, you know, the words and how I've laid this out, again, this is just like an idea I had, that I really wanted to, rather than just have quotes, to focus on words themselves and exactly what they mean. And I think words on their own can be really powerful, and I thought it'd be such a lovely thing to have like by your desk or in your hallway as you're leaving home or wherever, and such a nice thing to just sort of have really, and just sort of focus on the words, you know, strong, brave, love, hope, that could again just like add that little bit more inspiration. I think for me, with all my like inspirational quotes and stuff like that, I've always loved a good quote, and I know some people don't like them, that's cool, like, you know, whatever, don't buy them then, it's fine. It's good that we don't all love the same stuff, but yeah, I've always loved inspirational quotes, and I think sometimes it's just those little things, those little prompts which help us to kind of keep going, either keep sort of chasing our dreams or whatever it is. You know, seeing that quote can be, you know, the difference between feeling that like little bit of elation, that little boost that you feel, and not. So I do think they are like important, and I've often used to like write them on post-its and stuff and stick them by my mirror, or stick them by my in the bathroom or the kitchen or whatever, when I was up to stuff. And I thought, you know what, you should just design these in nice prints rather than having on scabby post-it notes that get really like gross and then always fall on the floor and stuff. You'll see as well in a lot of the prints, in all of them, there's like this kind of swirl. I don't really know where that kind of came from. It's just something I was playing about with. I wanted to make them look a bit more interesting. I sort of did this like flick, and I was like, oh, that's something. So it's really nice. It's kind of subtle without being too much, and just add something extra as well to them. So yeah, the new prints are all now available. I hope you kind of enjoyed this sort of look into my like mind, or I guess what it is. So let me know like if you've enjoyed this, and just hearing a bit more about like the design inspiration and stuff. I hope this has been interesting for you, and yeah, like let me know, and I will see you next week for a proper studio vlog.